Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers. Strap in. This will be a good one. Two one-loss teams getting together as they're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start out on the ground at Saquon Barkley. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Packers, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Running again with Barkley on second down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
A first down carry for Barkley, and he'll be taken down at about the 45. So this matchup, the second of 3 games in London this year. Vikings and Saints were here last week, and then the Broncos and Jags, they'll be at Wembley at the end of the month. Plus this year, remember, a 4th European game, our first one ever in Munich, Germany. That'll be the Bucs and the Seahawks November 13th. They get this to Beckham on the perimeter. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
Going right back to Beckham here, complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch, maybe you move some motion, maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it?
Have we ever run Barkley? Hit and the ball pops free.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He completes it to Beckham. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 29-yard line. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 42 yards rushing for him already. A terrific opening drive on the ground, and it's a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Over the middle, caught by Bellinger. So he gets too far beyond the line, and that's an easy call for the official. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. And he's got it. And he's brought down. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical. They've been crisp. And as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Giants are on the board first here this afternoon. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Extra point try good by Gano, and that makes the score 7-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A check down here to Jones. Again with a juke. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, you know, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, you know, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts. in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15. 4 consecutive passes to begin this opening drive, and you can't argue with the results. They've already driven it into the red zone and a fresh set of downs here to play with.
Which means there's a lot of trust by the play caller, by the quarterback, the receivers, you name it. Everyone locked in, everyone doing their job. I continue to go in that direction because right now they got the defense back on their heels.
And it's a Packers touchdown. Romeo Doubs, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. 7-7, our score after 1. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Jones and Shepard with a connection there for a Giants first down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Up the middle with Barkley. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Throwing, Jones. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. And the Packers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
He's got him in, complete. And he'll be ridden out of bounds all the way down at the 15-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 43 yards. yards.
As a general manager, you're counting on your first and second round draft picks to have a big-time impact on your team. But where you make your bones, rounds 3 through 7. If you can find a few diamonds in the rough there, develop them, then you've got something going, and we're seeing one right here.
Yeah, plays like that. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play, and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Packers have moved out in front. Extra point up. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers. Strap in. This will be a good one. 2 one-loss teams getting together as they're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. First play and a first throw for Rodgers. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Rodgers. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards. Good for a Packer first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Rodgers now on first down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. The Packers at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47. So this matchup, the second of 3 games in London this year. Vikings and Saints were here last week. And then the Broncos and Jags, they'll be at Wembley at the end of the month. Plus this year, remember, a 4th European game, our first one ever in Munich, Germany. And that'll be the Bucs and the Seahawks November 13th. And able to find Alan Lazard. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 36. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 36. Here's Rodgers to throw. That's complete to Doubs. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. If they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. Well, this defense for the Giants, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
That's an early scrambler that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
On first down, Rodgers. He'll find Lazard here over the middle. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
Rodgers' throw here pulled in by Lazard. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Caught on a slant. A gain of 7 that time. Second goal. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. Jones is in. Touchdown, Packers. Finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL. A complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Crosby with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They begin with a run by Barkley. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Brought down that time by Quay Walker. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now a toss right to Barkley. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now Jones. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. Before we came up to the booth, the last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson. Touchdown! Christian Watson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception. giving up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Jones now from the gun on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing now is Rodgers. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jalen Smith from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9.
I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to it, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gain decent yardage.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Rodgers now to throw. Able to find Lazard. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 23. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers.
Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And who's got it? The Giants. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
They'll take over deep in their own end after the fumble recovery as they start 1st and 10.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And some room to run now. And all the way up to the 47-yard line.
71 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Barton, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
Let's go now.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. That'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on 3rd.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. There he goes, right side. And into the end zone. It's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown. Now Crosby for the point after. And it is now 21-0. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but hold on, you finish.
Okay,
you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. To throw on 3rd down, Jones. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
On fourth down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fielded at about the 28. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And they will take over first and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Julian Love. And the Giants are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Jones on third down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on third down.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Gano's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, it's Barkley. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Slot man moves right. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Barkley. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers.
This one swung out here to Jones.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Out of the pistol, the give to Jones. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. CD, put on your OC cap here. What do you do? 2nd and 1, you get stuffed. Now 3rd and 1.
You know, in the old days, I would have said we're going to line up and we're going to run the same darn play and we're going to get it right. But nowadays, as tough as defenses are, I want some mobility. I want some movement, putting the ball in the hands of my quarterback and giving him a run-pass option.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Throwing is Rodgers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he fires one that's intercepted. Julian Love picks it.
And the Giants are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And this one too low.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Barkley, inside handoff. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Thomas. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
That one on the guard, Cesar Ruiz.
Looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And that is incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
So now, Charles, this drive may be a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding what receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And able to work his way down to the 16.
98 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And Barkley did not get there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
On 4th down, Jones. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the right side with Jones. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Completed out left to Dobbs. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. The Packers on third down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This is 3rd and 4. Rodgers going to throw. Forced out to his left. Got a man. That's Lazard. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 33. Oh, he fakes a spike. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
112 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
They run with Barkley on first down, and he gets about 5 out of it.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. It's Barkley on the counter, and very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing Jones. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from blocking.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Packers.
Romeo Doubs,
42 yards.
and the Packers are closing in on a 4-1 start as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
Extra point up and good by Crosby, and they open the lead up now to 25. after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
They'll go to Barkley again, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Up the middle with Barkley. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great. Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
Second down, another shot for Jones. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Escaping the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Kayvon Thibodeau, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. On the return, Jackson. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's a give to Barkley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Andrew Thomas, former first-rounder from Georgia, called for the penalty there.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now a toss right to Barkley. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
A handoff to Barkley. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. One final shot. They'll look to throw.
As this complete to Daniel Bellinger. And he is going to have the Giants first down as this defense cannot come up with a play that they need. In fact, they surrender a big chunk, 17 yards there on 4th down.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Packers, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And now it's off to Heathrow as they